So with us here in the studio this time is Dr. Najat El-Sayed, Assistant Professor at American University in the Emirates and Media Affairs and Academic Advisor at Sharaka. Good evening to you. Welcome to the studio. Now, this is a first-of-a-kind cooperation, especially between Israel and Egypt, obviously, and the clients are the Europeans. What do you make of this?
Well, first of all, this is a very positive step. The fact that it is positive because we can see a change of mindset, and as the report said, it could be the impact of the Abraham Accords. So the main change of the mindset, we see that both the Israelis and the Egyptians recognize that there should be increase of the exportation of gas. This is important, and also the change of the mindset of the Europeans, that they recognize that they have to diversify their source of gas, and especially from the Eastern Mediterranean. So that's a big change of the mindset.
Right. It probably will not change. The oil prices will not have a huge impact. This gas from Israel, but other supplies of energy in the Middle East are not so cooperative. What about that?
Well, the main thing is the change of the mindset, and if there's a change of the mindset, regardless of the source of energy, whether it is gas or any source of energy, maybe now the gas it won't be that significant because the route of infrastructure, especially between Egypt and Israel, is quite limited, and what they need to do in order to enhance that, to improve and develop the infrastructure, and that needs investment. So both the buyers and the sellers have to improve the infrastructure in order to increase the volume, and also it will be in much longer time. So that's what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. But so far you don't see any agreement coming out of Saudi Arabia and other big producers to lower prices to get more production.
Well, here it comes everything. It is because of the agreement of the OPEC, and Russia is involved in it. And let us be realistic. This whole agreement, even between the Europeans and the Israelis and Egypt, it's because the main goal of the Europeans is to decrease the volume of imports from Russia. So here the same thing is happening to Saudi Arabia. They want to collaborate with them in order to increase the oil production, in order to reduce the prices. However, Russia is a member in the OPEC Plus, and at the same time, lately the relationship between the Arab Gulf countries, including Saudi Arabia and Russia, has been strengthened, and they are taking that into consideration. So politics also plays a role here,
right?
Not only economy.
How will the Russians react to this kind of agreement between Israel, Egypt, and the Europeans?
Well, we know that Russia now is in war with Ukraine, so definitely they will take everything into consideration. They will, play with everything to their advantage. They are in war, so maybe one of the advantages that they will be taken, to exploit that the infrastructure between Egypt and Israel is quite limited, and at the same time there's an urgency and need of the Europeans to get this gas because they are importing almost 40%. So that's a lot. So this, the demand, the huge demand, they will take advantage of the huge demand to their own advantage. So they will use everything for their own good because they are in war.
Right. And President Biden of the United States is basically on his way to the Middle East next month. Do you foresee any change? He's going to be in Saudi Arabia, obviously. Do you foresee any change there?
I can see a change because there was if the concentration was to repair the damage that happened between Saudi Arabia and the U.S., and mainly let me be focused on the between Saudi Arabia and the Democrat Party, because we saw even before the election, while the campaign, there was a huge attack on Saudi Arabia. They call it pariah state, Biden called it, and also there was attack on the Crown Prince. So the main focus focus in this visit should be on the repair of the relationship, rather than I'm just coming for my own advantage in order to increase the oil production. In this case, the outcome will be quite limited.
Okay, let me ask you, how's the Sharaka business going between Israel and the UAE?
Well, in every new organization, there are ups and downs, and the whole idea of citizen diplomacy in the region is quite new. So some are optimistic about it, some are like suspicious about it, and in these terms, Sharaka needs to overcome it. The good thing that it's going more farther outcome by the Sharaka Scholars Forum to bring scholars together in order to develop something useful.
Yeah, you mean like physically bringing together?
Physically, and first of all virtual, and then eventually it will be actually physical through conferences.
So what, like students coming from the UAE to Israel, vice versa, things like that?
Well, now we are starting with professors, with scholars and researchers, and policy making.
Okay, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Najat,